Hi folks, it's James again. I'm sorry, we're having some real technical issues at our end, so I'm sorry that we dropped out a couple of times there. I might hand back over to Jess. We might start again and endeavour to record this and make sure that we distribute the recording to people. Thanks for your patience and apologies again.
Hi everybody, I'm back again. Do you want me to start from the beginning? Okay, all right. So today I'm here from the Dispute Resolution Centre to talk to you about a few of the exciting new things that we're doing, I guess, in terms of online applications for mediation. And I guess what part of my intention of being here today is to hopefully show you how to use these if that's possible with the technology, or if you've got a PC or a smartphone near you, you know, having a look yourself, as potential tools that you'll be able to use with your clients, ways to refer them to resources and potentially apply for mediation. Like I said earlier, we really appreciate the work that all the community legal centres do. Certainly for us, we receive a large number of referrals from community legal services, and we really appreciate those referrals. And also we really appreciate being able to refer our clients to you where they need legal advice and may not be otherwise able to afford it. So really happy to be here today, and hopefully the two things that I'm going to talk to you about today will assist in the work that you're doing. So the first one that I want to talk about is the Apply for Mediation tool. So basically what this is a way for people to put in an application for mediation and approach the Dispute Resolution Centre that way. So historically, before we created this online tool, clients would have to call us and have a conversation, and we would either open a file with them online, on the phone, or we would send them out a paper form that they would fill in, post back, and you know, obviously those sorts of processes can take time, with Australia Post taking longer now. You know, all those things are really slowing up the way that people could approach us. The other challenge as well being that in South Queensland, one particular centre, we manage anywhere between 300 to 500 phone calls from members in the community a month, on top of files that we manage, which can be anywhere between, you know, 20 odd 30 files per intake officer, and we're only a team of 5 including myself, so you can imagine our phone lines get pretty busy. You know, people have to leave messages and we have to return their call, and all of that sort of stuff slows down people's ability to access our service. So we met with a team who's working within the department to try and make different government services more accessible, and they approached us about putting our application form online, and at first we were pretty nervous. We were concerned about who was going to fill in the application and what sort of applications we were going to get. And what we've been able to do is create this form that assists people to go through the questions that they need to ask themselves, and there's also some qualifying questions as well, so that we're getting appropriate types of referrals for our service. And basically what happens when they go through this form and press submit at the end, they select their closest centre. So there's 6 dispute resolution centres up the coast of Queensland that cover the whole state of Queensland, provide service to the whole state of Queensland, and we'll get an email instantaneously with all of the parties' information to be able to progress a matter towards mediation. So I thought what we'd do today, technology permitting, is have a look at the form so that you're aware of it. And I guess how I imagine this being useful to you as practitioners is either you could give people this URL address when you're talking with members of the community as part of your advice and say, look, you can complete this, and the Dispute Resolution Centre will be in touch. Or if it's a particularly vulnerable client, that you could sit there and work through the form with them if you had the time. I appreciate that you guys are really busy, and so that might not be possible. But so what I want to do is just Do you think we can do it on here, James? Okay, we're going to try and do it on here so that you can see what I'm presenting. So this is the Queensland Government website, and we just click the button, with big green button that said apply for mediation on the front page there. And then basically this is what our clients will see. So we ask them a bunch of qualifying questions to begin with, and basically we want to make sure that people aren't getting too far into the form before that we disqualify them, I guess, from our service. So the first question we're asking is, does your mediation relate to a parenting or custody plan of your children? So I'm sure most of you are aware, but dispute resolution centres don't do matters relating to parenting plans, and that's just because we're not, some of our mediators are family dispute resolution practitioners, but we're not able to give the certificate that they need to continue on to family court. So if they click yes, you'll see it says you are not eligible for this service, and refer them to the family relationships online website. If you click on that, it will take you to their website. If you click no, it will let you continue with the form. So are you over the age of 18? If you click no, it says that you might not be able to have mediation, but to contact your local centre. So obviously most of the people that we're talking to are over the age of 18. I don't have my glasses on and this screen's a bit small, but I'm leaning in. The next question is, do you have the contact details? Thank you. Do you have the contact details of the other person you're in dispute with? So obviously we don't want, we can't search people's addresses or find them for them, so we need our clients to have that information for us. So if they click no, it asks them to contact us. We might be able to give them some strategies to find that information. We won't do it for them, so going on. And as you can see, we're sort of kind of qualifying or assessing the matter for mediation as we're going through these questions. So the next question here, are there any criminal charges that relate to the dispute? Sorry, are there any criminal charges relating to your dispute currently before the court? So we just want to be aware if there is any proceedings happening and how that might interplay. Obviously, if that sort of stuff's going on, if they click yes, it's just going to encourage them to contact us, and that might be a bit more of a detailed conversation with the client before we decide if we can or can't have mediation. But if they click no, we'll keep going through. Are you currently involved in any other legal process with the person you're in dispute with? So again, we're just trying to assess the level of complexity that's going on. So for example, if it's a family matter for a property settlement and they've got a hearing in the family court next week, obviously we're not going to be able to organise a mediation in that time frame, and it might be a bit too late in the process. So we want to be able to have conversations with people if they're answering yes or no to these questions. So if they say yes, again it asks them to contact. If it says no, you keep going. Okay, so now we get to the part where they can pick their closest centre. So if you don't know already, like I said, I'm from the Brisbane office, but we have a centre in Hervey Bay, Rockhampton, Mackay, Townsville and Cairns. So I'll just click on Brisbane. Oh, okay, and then the next question here is if there's any orders in place that prevent contact in the dispute. So, and if they say yes, they have the capacity to browse and upload a domestic violence order or any other sort of order that might be in place. So that's fantastic because it all comes to us. We've got all the information that we need. Next question, has there been any abuse, threats or police involvement? This question doesn't exclude them so much from the process, but if they say yes, we just ask them to provide us a bit of information, just so we've got an idea of what the situation is. Are you willing to meet with the other person? So if they click no, we're asking them to think about, well, what's the purpose of mediation? How is it going to benefit you? But if they click yes, that question isn't there. So you can kind of see we've really thought about this form and thought about the questions that we need to ask people to get them in the right headspace for mediation. So the next question here just provides us with a bit of information about the dispute. So this is a free text, so I can say neighbour, trees, fence, noise, and continue and fill that out. And you know, that's, I think it's a couple hundred words, I think 600 words or something in there. So they've got a lot of space if they need it to provide us War and Peace, or they can just give us a few short sentences as well. The next question we're asking them to do is to think about what they can do to resolve the dispute. So we're sort of, again, trying to get them to really think about, well, how is this mediation process going to work? What is the Dispute Resolution Centre asking me to do? So we want to see, sometimes they might not write much in there, sometimes they don't know, but we just are prompting those sorts of questions and for clients to start thinking about that. The next question here is, what have you tried to resolve the dispute? So we want to know that we're not their first port of call, that they've at least talked with the person that they're in dispute with. They may have written a letter or not, legal advice, contact with another agency, and others provides them with a space to give us more information. So usually when we get the completed form, this just paints a bit of a picture for how the dispute's been going, what level they're at in there. The next question is just giving us a bit of a sense for how long it's been going on. So just a timeline question there for us to get some information. Okay, here. So the next bit is the details for the other person. So, you know, I'm just going to make up someone's name, Jenny Waters, and English. If they need an interpreter, we can provide interpreters, so that information gives us, assists us in our case management of the file. So, and then we're looking for that relationship status, so neighbour, work colleague, whatever that might be. How long have you known the person? And what contact details do you have? So we just need one of these, or you can provide all three. So it won't let you proceed unless you provide us with something, but we just need some form of contact. Generally, we send letters. Some centres will contact people by the phone in the first instance, but we are also emailing people the invitation to mediation. And once all that's completed, you complete your own details. We're asking all the same sort of questions there, which is pretty basic. And then the last is just a few acknowledgements that we want people to understand. So I understand that mediation is voluntary. I understand that the Dispute Resolution Centre does not provide any legal advice. I understand that an assessment will be made if the matter is suitable for mediation, and I've read and agreed to the privacy statement. So if they press submit, that will shoot through to their local dispute resolution centre, whichever one they've picked up the top here, and we'll get an email basically with a summary, all of those questions and the yes or no responses, and any text that's provided as well. So that gets to us instantaneously. It's a couple seconds after the person's completed the form, and then we get that information. And what we've found when we get that information is we give them a call, and what's been quite interesting is that they've really thought about it. That form probably takes them anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to complete. So they've had a chance to sit down and think about, well, how long have I been in dispute? What have I thought about? Where am I at? And what sort of outcomes am I looking for? So when we contact them, it's usually a short conversation just to clarify that we've received it, how long it will be until we open that matter and contact the other party, what our contact will be, and what it will look like from there. So it's really streamlining our processes to allow for people to have easy access to the service. So I might just go back to my slideshow if I can. Okay. So I've just got a map here. So this is showing us some of the places that we've received the survey from. So obviously we've all over Queensland, and that's the map on the left. So, you know, we've got people all over the state using this. So we were we were thinking it might just be a metro type application. As you can see on the right-hand side there's certainly more people using it in the southeast corner, but that can be just a population thing as well. But what we found is quite a few people are using this as a way to get in touch with us, and actually it's become the largest way that we're opening files. So previously that might have been, opening files with parties over the phone, or the old paper forms, but this is quickly becoming the way people are engaging with us, which is really exciting. How do I change to the next slide? That one. Okay, great. So we conducted a survey. We were interested to see how this would, what our clients thought about this process. So obviously in the office we thought it was fantastic. It was saving us time. We knew it was accessible and easy to use, and we thought it was great. And so we thought it would be important to do a survey and see what our clients were saying. So in April this year, we sent out invitations to 400 people who'd used the online application, and 90 people responded, which we were pretty happy with. Obviously, we would have wanted more, but we'll take 90. So we were pretty pleased with that. And the survey results were really interesting and really reaffirming. Our clients said that it was easy and simple to use, so 95% of those surveyed said it was easy and simple to use. And quite interestingly as well, one question we asked was, did the survey impact your decision on proceeding with mediation? And about 20% of the surveyed people said yes, and when they said yes, we asked them for some feedback around that, and it was so easy that I thought it was worth giving it a try. So they weren't trying to call us and get an answering machine and then missing a call back from us and thinking, oh, it's all too hard, I'll just put up with my annoying neighbour, or I can't deal with this right now, it's too much in my life. Being able to go online, sit at home in the comfort of your own home, and fill out those questions and press a button, and then within one working day someone calls you back and says, hi, we've got your application, thanks for that, there's a couple clarifying questions that I have, can I have a chat with you about that now? Yep, great, let's go. So we found that statistic quite encouraging, that it was making it easier for people to engage and people to access our service, so we were really excited about that. The other feedback that we got from the survey was that clients said it helped them think about their dispute. So they were sitting there and taking the time to think about it, and that was a useful exercise. And the other feedback that we got was that it was available 24/7, and it was great to be able to have that available to them. The next couple of slides are just some information about when it's actually used. So just for interest sake, if anyone likes a bit of data, I don't mind it, it's okay. So still, interestingly, the majority of people are using it Monday to Friday. But as you can see there, Sunday, when people are getting their life admin done, they're jumping online and applying for mediation. So often we come in on a Monday morning and there are a few applications sitting in our inbox, usually neighbourhood disputes. Something's irritated them over the weekend, the dog didn't stop barking, or they were staring at that tree in the backyard, or whatever it was. So we're really excited the fact that people can use this anytime from anywhere. They can use it on their smartphone, they can do it from home, from a tablet, from their PC. And the next one is just about the time of day. So still the majority of people using it within business hours, but also there's quite a few there from 5 till 11 p.m. And some quite early in the morning, 5 till 9, kind of rises pretty quickly there. I did get one from someone at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that was a bit of a warning sign that this might be a bit of an interesting referral that we got there. But that's just some basic information about the online application to apply for mediation. Like I said, we think it's great. We've surveyed our clients. They think it's great. We want to put the word out there to all of the CLCs to let you know that this is something you can refer your clients to. In the resources that I sent around, there's a flyer or a poster that you can put up in the community legal centres, or have them printed out ready to give to a client to say, here's the URL address, jump on and apply for mediation. The other thing is that I included in the information is myself and two of my colleagues are going to be presenting at the National Mediator Conference about the online apply for mediation. In the world of mediation and working with people, online processes seem like, it's not client focused, and you're losing the interface with customers, and people are in distress and they need that face-to-face contact or that person-to-person contact, which I agree with, but this is just a way of facilitating that in a useful way. So we have all the information to have a really focused and constructive conversation, and the person's actually collected and gathered their thoughts and put that together in a way that's helpful for us. So we still follow up as soon as we get the application. We're contacting them, we're having that interaction with them. So we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but we're finding that this is a way for people to access this easily in their own time, and it's actually assisting us in progressing matters to mediation. So that's a bit of information about the apply for mediation online. I've just got a bit of a space here for questions, and I'll get James to help me. If anyone's got any questions about the apply for mediation.
So just a reminder, folks, there are a couple of ways that you can ask questions. You can type a question into the questions box or press a button that looks like a hand on your control panel, and we'll be able to unmute your microphone and you'll be able to ask Jess a question directly. Jess, can I just ask, this isn't replacing any of the other channels by which people can get into a dispute resolution centre?
No.
So all of the stuff that we've historically done with our clients, and particularly those that might have some real or perceived difficulties using online to do this stuff, doesn't matter, they can still go through the normal channels.
No. So if you've got someone who isn't tech savvy or elderly or English isn't a first language or anything like that, and they want to come in and see us face to face, or they want us to call them, we're still providing that service. This probably is more for those people who are, working. They're busy, our office hours are not, our phone lines are open from 9 till 4 in the afternoon. They try and call us, they can't get through, they're frustrated, So this is a way probably more for people who are quite confident with technology to access us really quickly and easily. So we're certainly still got all the time in the world for Joan out there who can't use a computer at all. So yeah, that's not a worry.
I don't think we've got any other questions.
Okay, great. All right, so the next tool that I want to show you, and this one is more about probably resources and collecting, putting some resources together. So it's, excuse me, particularly focused for neighbourhood disputes. So, if you've got someone, I'm sure you do a lot of neighbour, tree, fence, all that sort of stuff. This is a way that we've pulled resources together to make it easy for people to find the information they need. So this can be, I use this when I need to get information to clients, and this could be a tool for you, or this could be something that you can say to your clients, have a look at this, jump online, all the information's there. So basically what we identified is for neighbourhood disputes in particular, there's quite a few places that of people who are responsible for the information. So for example, if it's a fence, it's the Queensland legislation. If it's pool fence, then the building authority is involved. If it's a noise issue, if it's a dog, barking dog, then that's a local council, but if it's parties, then it's Queensland Police. So there wasn't really this place for people to find the information they needed in one spot, and we identified that different parties are responsible for different things. So this was a way to, we've worked with courts and a few other services within the Department of Justice, as well as external parties, to try and put all the information together. So it's just 3 simple questions. So I have a problem, question, issue, disagreement, conflict, dispute with. So we'll just go a problem with a neighbour. So it's got some distinctions here. So a neighbour in my body corporate, obviously the Body Corporate Commission provides services that Dispute Resolution Centre can't. So it's got some information there. We'll just go with neighbour. And what do we want to pick here, people? We've got abuse, cameras, children, draining, easements, fences, harassment. We can have a look at a couple, but let's have a look. Where's the trusty old fence? There we go. So basically it puts all the information. So it's saying here we have 21 resources, and it divides them up into some different spaces. So the first here, you've got some guidelines for pool fencing, how to do a title registry search, your rights and responsibilities as a fence owner, avoiding disputes about fences, and solving a fence or tree disputes. Then you've got some information down. So this is the first part, is all kind of things that you can manage yourself, information that you might need. And then the second one is getting help to resolve the problem. So we've got information from QCAT about fences. We've got information from Dispute Resolution Centre about fences. And I think there was something, here you go, Queensland Association of Independent Legal Services, fence disputes with neighbours. And then this is, the last category is formal resolution processes. So we've got here the QCAT process, and then we've got us, and we've got some information for you guys. So it's just a way that people can find the information they need quite easily. I'll just pull up one about dogs because, it's got here which council you're with. So if you go Brisbane City Council, then it's going to provide you with resources that Brisbane City Council have about dogs, which might be different to another sort of council. So basically, this is kind of a tool for clients themselves to find information all in the one spot that they need for those sort of really common neighbourhood disputes. So that might be a useful resource for you as well, to refer clients to that for their own self-resolution. But certainly if they need to talk to someone or they're having real issues, then they can either call us, or if you think this is sort of a situation here where they need to apply for mediation, then you can refer them to the online application to apply for mediation. So they're two new things that we're pretty excited about. With the online application for mediation, we've received about 600 since last August, so we've been doing it for a year, so it's been widely used. I don't have current stats for the tool, how to resolve disputes with your neighbours, but we have seen that quite widely used as well. It's on a few different places people can find it, but want to bring it to your attention as well if it's going to be a useful resource for you when you're talking to people about neighbourhood disputes. So any questions at all? Right. Maybe. Okay, if there's no questions, they're pretty self-explanatory. Have a look at them, jump online, play around with them, see if they're something that you think would be appropriate and useful for you. Yeah, hopefully they'll be something that you can use and might save you a bit of time with all the clients that you have. Thanks for having me here today, and yeah, it was a real pleasure to virtually talk with you all.
Can I, on behalf of everyone who's tuned in today, despite our technical difficulties, thank Jess for the presentation and the thoughtful preparation that went into it. This is absolutely the bread and butter work for community legal centres in a lot of cases, helping people deal with these kind of disputes. I know my first year here, a quarter of the phone calls that we took through our information referral service were in the area of these kinds of neighbourhood disputes. And so it's absolutely something that can have a dramatic impact and can escalate really quickly. It's good to know that this is another one of the tools in our armoury for that. Thanks to Jess, thanks to her team, thanks to all of you guys for tuning in, bearing with us through a fairly challenging technical experience. We'll email around some information and look forward to speaking to you soon. Good afternoon and thanks everyone.